Hello everybody, welcome back to our reading for this week, and we're going to finish off our World Book Day and National Careers Week superhero stories today. So hopefully you've done a really good job of writing the inside part of your story, so all of those really important sentences and paragraphs that make up the story, but today we're going to think about the front cover of our story. So today we're going to think about who helps us to create a book. So when we get a book on our bookshelf in school, all of these different people could have helped. Now these are just little cartoon characters really. They are girls or boys, doesn't matter who does what job, okay? So as we're going through, there might be a little character that looks like a man or that looks like a lady, it doesn't matter who it is. It's just a person for us to be able to look at for today. So to start off with, we've got the publisher, and the publisher decides which books are going to get to go to the bookshop, and they decide if your story is good enough or not, and they will be able to get everything else set in motion. The proofreader is somebody who reads your work and checks that it makes sense, that you've got your full stops in, that you've got your capital letters in, that it's a good story, that all your grammar makes sense, and they will send it back to you if there's any problems and you can make those changes. So a little bit like when a teacher might mark your work and then give it back to you and say you just need to make those few adjustments or check those spellings before we can do anything more. The editor might go through it and change some bits or say, we need that bit to be a bit longer or that bit needs to be a bit shorter, and they will make it fit for a book and make it work for the book when it's finished. The printer is the person who actually puts it onto the paper and gets it all set up and ready. Now it's not just a case of making one book, it will be a case of making lots and lots of books. So they've got to work in the factory to decide how that's going to go through the computers to make sure that every one of them is exactly the same and make sure what we want on each page is actually on each page. There's no bits missing or anything. Marketing is all about telling the world about your book. So thinking about how you're going to sell the book. So it might be that you are working on something like Instagram or on Facebook or something like that, where you will tell people about the book. It might be that you're going on a television program to tell people you've got a new book, or a radio station. It's all about making sure that everybody knows that the book is coming out so that they're excited to go and buy it. The person that works in the bookshop would be the person who actually sells the book once it's made to the person who's going to read it. So I'm sure we've all been into a bookshop or a shop that sells books anyway, and it's just a case of them working there and deciding, maybe telling people which books they might like, recommending a book to them, and selling various different books. The customer is the person who reads the book, so the person who goes into the shop and says, yes, I'd like to read that book please, and they pick it up and they read it, and maybe they tell lots of other people that they enjoyed it. The illustrator is the person who draws all the pictures. So a lot of the books that we read in class have got lots of nice pictures in them. That's by the illustrator. Often novels don't have as many pictures in them in the middle of the book, but the book cover might have some pictures, so it would still need an illustrator. The author is the person who is writing the story. So you've written your own superhero story, so you have been the author. If you've drawn pictures on your pages as well, you've been the illustrator as well. And the designer will look at the things that the illustrator and the author has done and decide how that's going to fit best onto the page. So all of these people are going to be involved, and it might not be that there's just one designer, there might be a team of designers that work together. So if you want to be part of the process of making a book, you could do any one of those jobs or careers. So we're thinking about the book cover today. So have a think about what kind of information you get on a book cover. I've put a book cover on here for you. You've got a title there. You've got the name of the person who wrote the book, so that's the author we just talked about. It's also got the name of the illustrator on there as well, the person who's drawing the picture. So Julia Donaldson is the author and Axel Scheffler is the illustrator. Now, you might have decided on your title and you will have your name at the bottom because it was written by you or it was illustrated by you. And then you need to think of a good picture that sums up the story or gets people wanting to read the story. So you might have a picture of your superhero on there. Just have a look at it, because it's not just a tiny little picture in the middle of the page. It covers the whole of the page. It's colourful, it's bright, it makes people want to read it. So here are a few other books that you can look at for a bit of inspiration to think about how people have made you want to read these books, and maybe giving a little bit of an insight about what's inside the book. It might give you a little bit of information on that. Sometimes the information is written on the back. Now you don't have a back cover to your books, but you can put some bits on the front if you want. All of these books are actually taken because these are the books that you can get with your book vouchers. So the World Book Day vouchers, you can get these books for free. So if you do like the look of any of these are all the ones you can get for just £1, or with your World Book Day token, they would be free. So have a look at those for some inspiration. Now, yesterday, remember I said don't do the front cover. Don't do the front cover. Leave the front cover blank. Okay? Now's your chance to do the front cover. So obviously don't just write front cover on the front, because your book's not going to be called front cover. It's unusual anyway if it is. You need to put your title on, your name on, your pictures on the front. Okay? Make us want to read your story. And then hopefully when these all come back in, I'll see some fabulous front covers, and then I'll be desperate to read the stories that are inside. So have some fun with your front covers today, make them look fabulous, and then we'll see them next week when we see you.